Imagine someone is shouting directly at you, but instead of your heart racing, your mind becoming defensive, or your emotions taking over, you feel a profound sense of stillness. This isn't a fantasy. It's a skill, a practice, a way of being that can transform the most challenging interactions into opportunities for growth, not only for the other person, but profoundly for yourself. We're not talking about avoiding conflict or pretending that difficult behavior doesn't affect you. We're talking about learning how to move through conflict without allowing it to disturb the deepest part of your inner peace. Today, we're diving deep into the art of mastering difficult conversations, not by winning, controlling, or having the last word, but by maintaining your inner peace. This journey begins with understanding what we might call the fundamental physics of presence. Think about it. In a difficult conversation, where is your attention truly focused? Is it on formulating your next argument, replaying something the other person said 5 minutes ago, or anticipating the attack you believe is coming next? Often, our minds are everywhere except the present moment. The physics of presence is about anchoring yourself fully and completely in the here and now. It's about bringing your entire being into the conversation, not just your words. Instead of allowing your mind to race ahead, you remain connected to what is actually happening in front of you. This isn't passive listening. It's active, engaged awareness. It means noticing the subtle shifts in tone, the pauses between words, the unspoken anxieties, and the underlying needs that often hide beneath aggressive language. Sometimes, anger is only the surface. Beneath it may be fear, frustration, disappointment, or the feeling of not being heard. When you become present enough to notice these layers, you no longer have to respond automatically to the loudest part of the conversation. To cultivate this presence, we start with the breath. It's the most immediate anchor we have. Before you even utter a word, or whenever you feel tension beginning to rise, take a conscious breath. Not a shallow gasp, but a deep, slow inhale that fills your lungs, followed by an equally slow exhale that allows some of that tension to leave your body. This simple act does more than just supply oxygen. It gives you a moment of space between what is happening and how you choose to respond. It reminds your nervous system that you don't have to surrender control of your internal state simply because the external environment has become chaotic. You can pause. You can breathe. You can choose your response. This isn't about ignoring the other person or withdrawing from the conversation. It's about creating a stable internal environment from which you can truly engage. When you are truly present, you are not merely hearing words. You are perceiving the entire exchange. You notice what is being said, how it is being said, and what may be left unsaid. You become a stable point in a swirling vortex, capable of observing without being swept away. And that distinction is incredibly powerful. The moment you stop being completely absorbed by the emotional storm, you create room for wisdom to enter. This grounded presence is the foundation upon which all other Zen communication practices are built. Without it, you're merely reacting, a leaf tossed around by every emotional gust. With it, you become the tree, rooted, steady, and resilient, even while the wind continues to move around you. Next, we explore the art of selective porosity. Imagine your mind as a finely tuned filter. In difficult conversations, we often move toward one of two extremes. We become completely impermeable, shutting down and refusing to hear anything the other person is saying. Or we become overly porous, absorbing every negative emotion, every accusation, every criticism, and every jab until we feel overwhelmed and depleted. Neither extreme truly serves us. Selective porosity is about consciously choosing what to let in and what to let pass through. It's about developing a discerning ear and a resilient spirit. You remain open without becoming unprotected. This means actively listening for understanding, not necessarily for agreement. You are seeking to comprehend the other person's perspective, their pain, their fear, their frustration, and their underlying message, even when their delivery is flawed, emotional, or aggressive. But at the same time, you are not required to internalize their anger, their projections, or their attempts to destabilize you. Think of it like a sieve. You allow the valuable insights, the factual information, and the genuine concerns to pass through, while filtering out the emotional debris, the personal attacks, and the unnecessary drama. Perhaps there is something useful hidden inside what someone is saying. You can take that lesson without accepting every harsh word that surrounds it. This requires a strong sense of self and a clear internal boundary. You can acknowledge another person's feelings without making those feelings your own. You can say, internally or even externally, "I hear that you are angry," without then becoming angry yourself. You can recognize their frustration without carrying it home with you. This isn't indifference. It's emotional intelligence. It's recognizing that their emotional state belongs to them. You can empathize with what they are experiencing without becoming responsible for regulating every emotion they feel. That distinction can protect you from one of the most exhausting aspects of difficult conversations. Believing that you must absorb another person's emotional state in order to prove that you care. You don't. You can remain compassionate without becoming consumed. You can remain open without becoming overwhelmed. This selective porosity allows you to stay connected enough to understand another person, while protected enough to preserve your inner peace. It's a delicate balance, honed through practice, but it's essential for navigating high-stakes interactions without surrendering your emotional stability. Now, let's delve into non-dual communication tactics. This is where the Zen philosophy truly begins to shine. In most conflicts, we instinctively operate from a dualistic mindset: right versus wrong, me versus you, win versus lose. Once the conversation enters this framework, every statement can begin to feel like a battle. If they are right, we must be wrong. If they win, we must lose. Non-dual communication asks us to step outside that narrow framework. It recognizes that reality is often far more complex than two opposing sides. Sometimes, both people hold a piece of the truth. Sometimes, both are responding to genuine needs, but expressing them in completely different ways. Two people can experience the same situation differently, without either person being entirely dishonest or entirely correct. The goal, then, isn't simply to prove you're right. It's to discover whether there is a shared understanding, a common ground, or, at the very least, a respectful coexistence of differing views. And sometimes, that shift alone can completely change the nature of a difficult conversation. One powerful non-dual tactic is to shift from you statements to I statements, but with a deeper intention. Instead of saying, "You always interrupt me," try saying, "I feel unheard when I'm speaking and someone else begins to talk." This is a common piece of communication advice, but the Zen approach takes it one step further. Use I statements, not simply to express your feelings, but to describe your experience of the situation without judgment, accusation, or the need to make the other person wrong. It's about owning your perception rather than imposing it. You are saying, in essence, "This is how I am experiencing this moment," rather than, "This is who you are and what you always do." That subtle shift can lower defensiveness and create space for a more honest conversation. Furthermore, practice radical empathy. This doesn't mean agreeing with the other person, excusing harmful behavior, or abandoning your own boundaries. It means making a genuine effort to step into their shoes and understand the world from their vantage point. What fears might be driving their anger? What unmet needs might be fueling their frustration? What experiences might have shaped the way they are responding right now? You don't have to accept someone's behavior in order to understand it. When you can see the humanity in another person, even when they are at their most difficult, the rigid walls between me and you begin to soften. The conversation stops being a battle between opposing identities and becomes an encounter between two human beings, each carrying their own history, emotions, fears, and expectations. Another non-dual approach is the power of silence. In the heat of a difficult conversation, our instinct is often to fill every pause. We want to defend ourselves, explain our intentions, correct the other person, or immediately prove our point. But silence, when used intentionally, can become a profound communication tool. It creates space. It allows the other person to fully express themselves without interruption, and it gives you time to process what you've heard. Return to your breath and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no immediate response at all. Simply listening, simply being present, simply allowing a moment to exist without rushing to control it. This doesn't mean you're giving in, surrendering your position, or allowing someone to walk over you. It means you're creating an opening for a different kind of interaction, one rooted in awareness and understanding rather than contention. Non-dual communication seeks to dissolve the perceived separation between people and discover the underlying humanity that remains, even when there is disagreement. It's about seeing the other person not as an adversary who must be defeated, but as another human being navigating their own complex reality. As the conversation unfolds, you'll need strategies for maintaining your center in the storm. Difficult conversations can be turbulent. Emotions can rise quickly. Accusations can fly. Voices can become louder. And the temptation to get swept into the emotional current can feel almost overwhelming. Your center is your inner sanctuary, your core of calm, awareness, and clarity. Protecting it is paramount. One powerful technique is visualization. Imagine yourself as a mountain, solid, unmoving, enduring. Winds may howl around it. Storms may rage across its peak, and clouds may obscure its view, but the mountain itself remains steadfast. Or visualize yourself as a deep lake. The surface may become choppy when the wind moves across it, But beneath the surface, the water remains quiet, deep, and clear. When you feel yourself being pulled into the drama, mentally return to this image. Feel the steadiness of the mountain. Feel the depth of the lake. Let the image remind you that what is happening around you does not have to determine what is happening within you. This isn't about becoming detached or emotionally cold. It's about groundedness. You can remain fully engaged with another person while refusing to surrender your center to the emotional turbulence of the moment. Another powerful tool is the pause. Before you respond, especially when someone says something provocative, take a deliberate pause. It may be only a second or two, but within that small space, something important happens. You create a gap between stimulus and reaction, and in that gap lies your freedom. Use that pause to return to your breath. Relax your body, notice what you're feeling, and choose your response consciously, rather than allowing an automatic, defensive reaction to take over. Ask yourself, what is my intention here? Am I trying to win? Am I trying to prove myself right? Or am I trying to understand, communicate clearly, and move toward resolution? That conscious question can completely shift the direction of an interaction. Furthermore, practice non-identification with the outcome. You can influence a conversation, but you cannot control the other person's reaction. You cannot guarantee that they will understand you, apologize, change their behavior, or agree with your perspective. You can do everything with patience and compassion and still walk away without the resolution you hoped for. Your peace cannot depend on someone else responding exactly the way you want them to. Your peace comes from your ability to remain centered, regardless of the external circumstances. Release the need to control the outcome and focus instead on what is actually within your control. Your internal state, your words, your tone, your boundaries, and the intention you bring into the interaction. This is a form of true liberation in communication. You are not responsible for managing another person's emotions. You are responsible for how you meet your own emotions and how you choose to act. And when you maintain your center, you become an anchor, not only for yourself, but potentially for the entire conversation. Your steadiness can create a different atmosphere, one in which genuine dialogue may eventually become possible. Finally, we arrive at graceful exit and integration. Not every difficult conversation will end with a perfect resolution, a warm embrace, or even a clear agreement. Sometimes, the most Zen response is knowing when and how to disengage gracefully, and then learning how to integrate the experience without carrying its emotional weight with you. A graceful exit isn't about running away from discomfort. It's about setting healthy boundaries and recognizing when further discussion has become unproductive, repetitive, or harmful to your well-being. You might say, "I hear your perspective, and I need some time to process this." Or, "I think we've reached a point where we're not making progress right now. Can we revisit this later?" These statements don't dismiss the other person. They acknowledge the conversation while also asserting your need for space and time. The key is to communicate your boundary calmly and clearly, without blame, contempt, or unnecessary accusation. Sometimes, stepping away is not a failure to communicate. Sometimes, It is the wisest form of communication available. Once the conversation is over, the work of integration begins. Don't immediately rush into the next task or distract yourself from what happened. Take a moment to debrief with yourself. What did you learn? What emotions arose within you? What triggered you? Where did you maintain your center? And where did you lose it? This isn't an invitation to criticize yourself. It's an opportunity for compassionate self-observation. Notice what happened, without turning the experience into another reason to judge yourself. If tension remains in your body, release it through physical movement, slow breathing, quiet reflection, or journaling. Give yourself permission to acknowledge what happened, without allowing it to occupy your mind for the rest of the day. Don't replay the conversation endlessly, dissecting every word and imagining all the things you should have said. Instead, acknowledge the experience. Extract the lesson. Then, consciously let it go. The Zen way to master difficult conversations isn't about having all the answers or always saying the perfect thing. It's about cultivating an inner state of calm, presence, and compassion that allows you to navigate the complexity of human interaction with greater grace and integrity. It's a lifelong practice, a continuous refinement of your awareness and your ability to respond from a place of peace rather than react from a place of fear, anger, or defensiveness. You will not handle every difficult conversation perfectly, and you don't have to. Each challenging interaction can become a kind of dojo, a place of practice where your patience is tested, your awareness is strengthened, and your inner resilience becomes deeper. The difficult person becomes an unexpected teacher. The uncomfortable conversation becomes an opportunity to practice. And the moment that once disturbed your peace can eventually become the very moment that teaches you how to protect it. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the Zen way to navigate difficult conversations without losing your inner peace. If these insights resonated with you, consider subscribing to Mindful Reflections for more teachings and reflections designed to help you cultivate a more peaceful, aware, and empowered life. And if you found this message helpful, share it with someone who may need to hear it today. Remember, you cannot always control the conversation, and you cannot always control how another person behaves, but you can return to your breath. You can return to your awareness, and you can choose not to abandon your inner peace simply because the world around you has become unsettled. Until next time, may you meet difficult moments with clarity, speak with compassion, and carry your peace with you wherever you go.